Hello everyone, welcome back, and today we are going to discuss the assignment of history lesson 4 in the earliest cities. These are the extra question answers, so let's go through them quickly. When did the earliest cities develop? The earliest cities developed 4700 years ago. Name the cities where elaborate storehouses have been found. The elaborate storehouses have been found in Mohenjo-daro, Harappa and Lothal. What made Great Bath watertight? So the answer is natural tar. So natural tar made Great Bath watertight. Who planned the construction of special buildings in the city? So the rulers planned the constructions of special buildings in the cities. Who is a specialist? Now a specialist is a person, here this A should not come. A specialist is a person who is trained to do only one kind of work. Where was cotton probably grown? The cotton was probably grown at Mehergarh about 7,000 years ago. Name the metals that were used to make ornaments and vessels. So the metals that were used to make ornaments and vessels were copper, bronze, gold and silver. What was special about earliest cities? So elaborate answer can be written like this. The special feature of earlier cities was that the cities were divided into two parts. Number one, citadel, and in front of that you can write western part, which was smaller but higher, and number two, lower town, which was the eastern part, which was larger but lower. Then we come to true false. A new tool, the plow, was used to dig the earth for turning the soil. True. Harappan seals were in square-shaped falls. They were rectangular. Spindle whorls were made from terracotta and faience. It is true. The city of Lothal is in Madhya Pradesh. False. One of the reasons for decline in the earlier cities is deforestation. True. Citadel was part to the west and was smaller and higher. So this is true. The walls were strong. Why were they strong? Because they were laid with interlocking patterns. So this is true. Now match the columns. Kalibangan and Lothal, where we found fire altars were found. A statue of man wearing embroidered garment was found in Mohenjo-daro. Copper was brought in from Rajasthan. Gold was brought in from Karnataka. Tin was brought in from Afghanistan. Precious stone was brought in from Gujarat. And run of Kutch was where it is related to Dholavira. Name the crops grown by Harappans. So the crops grown by Harappans were wheat, barley, pulses, peas, rice, sesame, linseed and mustard. What work did specialists do? So the specialist used to do cutting of stone, polishing of beads and carving of seals. So the short form can be CPC, that is cutting of stones, polishing of beads and carving of seals. Now what was the lower town? Lower town was the eastern part of the town, which was larger but lower. In which city was the Great Bath? The Great Bath was in Mohenjo-daro. What were the things or crafts found in Harappan cities made up of? So the things or crafts which were found in Harappan cities, they were made up of stones, shells and metals, including copper, bronze, gold and silver. Now why were metals, writings, wheel and plow important for Harappans? The answer is, we will write the answer in 4 parts because here they are asking that why were metals, writings, तो हर एक part के लिए separate answer होगा. So number 1, metals were important for Harappans because copper and bronze, this is point number 1, copper and bronze were used to make tools, weapons, ornaments and vessels, and point number 2 is that gold and silver was used to make ornaments and vessels. Then second heading will be writings because this is the second part, that why were writings important for Harappans. So writings were important for Harappans, here you can do were important for Harappans as they were probably important means of communication for them. Then third part is wheel. So wheel was important in carts as it made agriculture easy and was used for spinning wheel, and was used as spinning wheel for pottery. Then why were plow important for Harappans? So plow was used by the farmers to dig the earth for turning the soil and for planting the seeds. The next question is that how was life of farmers and herders who supplied the food in Harappan cities different from the farmers and herders in earliest time? Here we will write 3 points of differences. So the first point is tools. Harappan farmers and herders used wooden tool called plow for turning the soil and for planting the seeds. So here you rectify the spelling of wood. Then the second point of difference is irrigation. मतलब वो क्या पूछ रहे हैं? The question is that जो farmer और herders थे हड़प्पन cities के, उनकी life कैसे different थी earliest time के farmers और herders से, मतलब इनसे पुराने जो हमने starting में पढ़े थे chapter number 1 में, इन दोनों में क्या difference था? तो हम पढ़ रहे हैं कि first difference क्या था tools में, कि जो हड़प्पा के farmers और herders थे वो plow को use करते थे, wooden plow को, किसके लिए? For turning the soil and for planting the seeds. But the earliest farmers and herders used the tools which were made up of stones and bones. उनके पास कोई plow नहीं था, जो earliest वाले थे उनके पास. फिर irrigation, Harappan farmers and herders used a system of irrigation for better produce, whereas earliest farmers and herders did not. Harappan वालों के पास एक system of irrigation था, but earliest वालों के पास ऐसा कोई system of irrigation नहीं होता था. Third point is residence. Harappan farmers and herders used to live in the outskirts of the city. वेयर एज देयर वर नो सेटल्ड सिटीज़ इन द टाइम ऑफ अर्लीस्ट फार्मर्स एंड हर्डर्स। मतलब हड़प्पन जो फार्मर्स और हर्डर्स थे वो सिटीज़ की आउटस्कर्ट्स में मतलब कंट्री साइड पे रहते होते थे, बट ऐसा कुछ भी सेटल्ड सिटीज़ नहीं थी जो पुराने वाले अर्लीस्ट फार्मर्स और हर्डर्स थे। सो हियर वी एंड दी असाइनमेंट क्वेश्चंस।